What's going on, guys? Back again with another Titans Time. We got the Chiefs coming this weekend. I like this matchup. I hope you do too. Vegas does not like the Titans in this one. Got us at a 4-point underdog at this moment. I think the line is going to continuously shift. At the beginning of the week, it was 5.5. Now it's going to work its way down to about 4.5. I'd take that. I'm not usually a betting man. I do have a betting segment, like I always say, but as a mathematician and just speaking logically, that sounds like a good bet right now. Let's get into it, though. I want to break down first and foremost the Tennessee's offense and how they stack up against Chiefs' defense. On defense, the Chiefs definitely have some holes and injuries. Their secondary, first and foremost, they've been picked on all year. I feel like AJ coming off that flu game, he's definitely going to be healthier and without any sickness ailing him during this game, I hope. And Julio is going to have more snaps that he's able to take on. So they're going to have some matchups and mismatches that they can exploit. The Chiefs' linebacking core in the middle of their defense is their weakness. That does help and match the lineup with how the Titans do want to strike the middle of the field, either with our tight ends, our running backs out the running back, or AJ and Julio coming across the middle. Actually, we use everybody. You'll see Marcus Johnson, Chester Rogers, whatever they can use really across that middle and getting the first down and getting several yards. That's what Tennessee's predicated on. I like that there is their weakness, which is one of our schemes and strengths. Going to their defensive line, I like our matchup against their offensive line. Last week, our offensive line played amazing, giving up not one sack. There was a ton of pressure on Tannehill, but they gave him just enough time to move around and find the open man or throw the ball away. So Chris Jones does have a wrist injury, which is really bad for interior defensive lineman when all you want to do is get push up against them. You don't want to push that much impact on your wrist. They probably going to continuously moving him to outside, playing the defensive end position like they have been this year to cope around that wrist injury. But there's nobody else of true notice on that defensive line. As long as Derek can get to the second level and they can keep the pass rush off of Tannehill, we're in a good position right now. I feel like we're going to put up a crap ton of points. The only thing that's going to slow us down is us. We have to scheme around it. We cannot have those slow starts like we've been having to start the season. In the first quarter, the first 6 games of the year, I think we've averaged about 3.3 points, so 3.3 to 3.5 points a game. That's too low, especially with Patrick Mahomes' offense on the other side. Switching sides of the ball, and we're going to talk about now the defense, the Titans, and how they match up against that offense. We definitely did not pick up any cornerbacks yet besides Greg Maven. I don't see how Greg Maven is going to be the saving grace against that speed that they have in Kansas City. But we can and we have shown that we can stop people in the red zone. I like our matchup against their offensive line. Harold Landry and Bud Dupree and Big Jeff Simmons, Janico Autry. That front four have been definitely getting a lot of pressure. I'm gonna like how they played this weekend because they're going to need to keep Pat Mahomes uncomfortable. Our pass rush has definitely got to get home this weekend. Big Jeff and Harold Landry have had big seasons this year. and I hope that continues. They're going to need Bud Dupree to step up. They're going to also need Big Jeff to have they also need Danico Autry to have a big game as well, and their supporting cast. The linebackers are going to have to do more as well against that tight ends and the running backs. Travis Kelce is a beast, but I think that having Malik Hooker back in the secondary is eligible, and now you're able to have Crookshank playing man coverage on Travis Kelce instead of having Rashad Evans or David Long just chasing him all day, looking terrible. Kevin Byard is going to have a big game playing that middle. Again, if we can try to keep Patrick Mahomes uncomfortable and stop the running game, they don't have their choice of who to pick on in the secondary, but our scheme is going to have to help them out more. We cannot have 3rd and 6 or 3rd and 4 short medium distance and we're playing 10 yards off coverage. They run 5-6 yards to the sticks, turn around, fall down, first down. We cannot stop people like that. We have to scheme and play better. Just like the offense, the only thing that is going to slow us down on defense is us. We're going to give up a bunch of points because they're a juggernaut offense, but you like the way that they're playing. You like the way our defense is playing in the red zone, and hopefully that translates into this week. All right, now following up from last weekend, I definitely wanted to talk a little more about some of the free agents and trades and scenarios that the Titans could do to enhance their roster going forward. There are a few free agents out there that I'm still a little interested in myself, and not necessarily sure how they would fit in our scheme and what the coaching staff presently wants to do, but I know that they're talented and veterans, and they can add something to a locker room at least. From the cornerback positions, from the free agents that's still in the market, I think we definitely look at Darqueze Dennard and Brian Poole. Both of them have had lengthy veteran careers. They're not old, but they're not young either. They're not moving parts that you're going to bet multiple years upon at this point in their career, but you know what you're going to get. They have enough film on them that you can see what they do well and what they don't do well, and try to see if they fit to our schemes and what we want to do. Now, when it comes to O-line, I don't know why Mitchell Schwartz is still out there, but he is. And I just can't get any rationality from anybody to tell me that he's better, or he's not better, than Dylan Radons, Quisenberry, and Kendall Lamb. So why have we not reached out, or does he not want to play? I would have been called him. I would have called his mom. I would have called his wife. I would have called his masseuse. I would have called his therapist. So I would have called everybody. Hey, we need a tackle. Come on, and he's not it's not like he's Jason Peters and he's close as hell to 40. He's on the wrong side of 30. But this late in the season, he definitely could play that swing tackle backup position, especially while Taylor's down with that concussion. But why not make the phone call? Now, there's a few trades as well that I think that we should talk about. I like to consolidate talent from losing teams. Like last year, the Jets ran through the majority of their talent. Anything that could be taken out of that team for picks and for future great games going forward, it was most likely taken. I feel like the Dolphins are in the same position this year, and we need to definitely look at a few players on that team that could help out this Titans roster. First and foremost, we do need cornerback help. Jack Rabbit is not like what we need right now. He could be a really good 3-4 cornerback, but for him to be our number one and taking on, some of the best wide receivers in the game right now, I don't like that. So we definitely could have somebody to knock him down on the depth chart, and Xavier Howard would be a great fit. The Dolphins don't know what they're going to do with him next year anyway. So I like to see him get a new place, even if it's not the Titans. Fresh city, fresh start, and then go from there. But Tennessee is definitely a good destination. We can make something work. There's somebody that we can always trade, or there's some renegotiations that we can make to compensate that. Emmanuel Ogbo on that defensive line is a beast. And if you watch that last game against the Jags, the Dolphins defense did not do well at all besides Emmanuel Ogbo. And he was a one-man wrecking crew the entire time. He was chasing down plays left and right. He always put a hand up. He was getting pressure in the backfield, getting penetration on run plays. And if you were to put him with Nico Autry and Big Jeff on that hand down in the dirt 3-man D line, and you still have your outside linebackers pass rushing, we're going to be trouble. You can block 6 if you want to, but 3 of them guys can eat up 2 blocks. So somebody might be running free still. I like Emmanuel Ogba. I don't like the position that he's in on a losing team, and it seems like their season is just down. So, hey, you want to get a ring with us? Come on. One more position that I think that you definitely need to take a look at is tight end. Mike Gesicki has been playing really well for that fluctuation of quarterback situation that's going on. He's doing his thing, and he's been matriculating through the years really well. That's a guy who you really wanted to keep your eye on, just from a fan standpoint, because of how good he was coming out of college. And with the stature and that size and the speed, with the injury history, you never know what you're going to get. But he's been balling out the last 2 years, a year and a half so far, I say. And he would be a definite immediate upgrade over a Jeff Swain or a Ferkser because he can do everything. Another person that I think that the Titans should definitely look at is Robbie Anderson. I know he went to Carolina and got paid, but within the vacuum of not looking at that salary cap issue and how would we match it up, he would be great for that offense, spreading the field with his speed, replacing Cam Batson, who went on IR. That would be huge for us. To be honest, deep speed wise, we really don't have that much. And to have somebody like a Robbie Anderson who can line up just about anywhere and just flat out fly would open up even more lanes for Derrick Henry or for the rest of the wide receivers in the passing offense. Speaking of Derrick Henry, we definitely need a running back that could spell him for an amount of time. If the dude takes a shit for 2 to 3 possessions, we don't know what the fuck we gonna get. McNichols is good in the passing game, but we don't get much out of him in the running game, which you you expect that. Kai Sargent hasn't played much. He's been like scratched most week, so he's not gotten any reps. Darrington Evans is coming back from an injury, but he did look good before that injury in the preseason. You really do need another veteran back who's capable of playing all three downs. That's Derek's problem right now anyway. He's not a three-down back. So somebody like a Melvin Gordon would be perfect for this offense. Again, the Broncos, like we spoke earlier from Thursday Night Football, have been circling the drain, and I like to loot teams that are not using their talents to win now. Melvin Gordon can play all three. He can catch out the backfield. He can run through the tackles. He can run that zone scheme. I like that fit. I also like that 1-2 punch. It would be even better than Chubb and Hunt as a 1-2 punch. I feel like in my mind. No defense wants to scheme for them two coming at you. We would never throw the ball. And when we do throw the ball, we got AJ and Julio. So you take your pick on what you want to do. Wow. But that's just me. All right, guys, that's Titans time. When we come back, we definitely going to go over Vegas, baby.
Brought to you by the Chisholm Channel at TCC Productions.